If it wasn't for dark skin problems, I'd be out here with a pile of games, just like my special guest Gabby is right now. Join us for another Power Hour where we're going to talk about all about Sony's stupidness scrapping physical games from 2028. How daft is that? Betraying your actual fan base. And we're going to walk down memory lane talking about our favorite physical games because it's not all about the digital, it's not all about the convenience. Physical media is back. And it's all down to millennials and maybe Gen Z as well. But mainly the millennials. Join us on episode 143 of the
Streamcast.
Hello and welcome to the Streamcast. It's your boy Black Amora, and I'm joined by Gabby. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hello all. I'm back again with what you didn't see before we started was I've dropped this about 4 times, but with a healthy stack of games.
It was magnificent. I was thinking we might as well save that for when we started rolling, but it's all good.
I am going to slowly start transferring them, otherwise you're all going to hear a bang.
I think everyone who's watching is going to find it hilarious. Everyone who's listening, sucks for them.
Yeah,
But
turn your headphones down, get ready.
This is episode 143 of the Streamcast, and we're going to get straight into it because you know who Gabby is. This isn't a one-time guest. You've seen her a couple of times on the pod before. As I get my lighting in order because I don't know what's going on. If you haven't heard, because you might have been distracted by a certain global sporting competition, Sony, PlayStation have announced from 2028 they're going to get rid of all physical games. I'll be specific. They're going to cease production of physical game copies. As Chloe shows up in the chat. How's it going? And, you know, we're in a similar age bracket, Gabby. As people who have enjoyed gaming over many years, I thought you're the perfect person to rage about this on. And this is the perfect platform to rage about this on. So, Gabby, tell me what your first impression was when you first read or heard the news. Did you hear that because of me, or did you?
No, I don't remember where I saw it. But I didn't believe that it was real. I thought it was some Twitter or God knows thing that someone had come up with and just brushed it to the side. And then you messaged me and I was like, oh shit, they're actually doing this. Like, I'm sorry, but this is the death of physical media that all these companies are trying to enforce on us is just a terrible thing. We're seeing film, music, gaming, all media of any form transitioning from being physical into digital, and to a lot of people they won't realize what the issue with that is. Excuse me. But it means that in any instance, once that digital form has gone, it's no longer accessible. There are things, specifically TV shows from the 80s, that are have disappeared because they were destroyed because they weren't transferred. I'm so sorry. I've now got a cough that we've started recording.
All right. No,
but why are we trying to destroy physical media? It's one of the only sources in keeping these things through the test of time. And with gaming specifically, I don't know where the logic of. I mean, we'll get into it, but I'm going to say I don't know where the logic of going diskless in 2028 is, because I know we have the digital version and the disc version of the PS5. And I know I'm sure the digital version probably sold more, but that's only because of the ease of access of digital releases. That doesn't mean people aren't buying discs. That doesn't mean people aren't sharing discs with their friends or going to the shop specifically to get the disc version, because PlayStation likes to hike prices up on the digital store. And I don't know why we're trying to force this. We could just keep continuing to make physical media and disc versions, and the people that want to go digital can go digital. Simple.
Yeah, I'm with you. I will quickly shout out Chloe Burkhart because she's asked for one nicely. And Stephen Cook, for some reason, asking if we speak Greek. No. But one of our favorite gaming characters do. Stay tuned. I agree, because I think it's all about taking away the choice from the consumer, and that upsets me the most out of everything. I I think there are pros and cons to having physical media and digital media, and that's something we've spoken about for years. I'm sure we've spoken about it on the pod previously, with previous hosts. But I think when it boils down to an organization is putting greed before the fan base or
Yeah.
the consumer, this is what happens. And like you mentioned with the console, releasing physical and digital versions of the console, and then the digital version is like £100 cheaper. You're quite literally herding the cattle to go a certain way. And yeah, upfront it's cheaper, but once it comes to buying those games that you can't borrow, that you can't resell, and you can hike up the prices as you wish because there's no competitor, you're going to end up paying more in the long run, dare
Yeah.
I say. So yeah, this is an awful piece of news. And I think you made a good point that I think a lot of gamers might not have considered that this is something that other mediums like music and media films have already gone down, and it's quite terrifying when you subscribe to a certain service because you want to watch a lot of the great IPs. You want to watch Inglorious Bastards, you want to watch MCU, all of that stuff. But then those films are on those platforms for a certain amount of dates, months, maybe a
Yep.
year, and then it's gone. And then what you've paid for, you can't watch anymore. Even worse, if you do buy a film on, say, an Amazon Prime or on a YouTube, there's nothing really stopping them from pulling it and going, you can't watch that anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, that money that you spent on it, charge it to the game. Don't worry about it. You're not getting that back.
I mean, and we've seen that with what was it called, Concord, which was that game that was released and was out for, I think it's a total of 6 days or something, and then got pulled. There are still people that have a physical copy, don't get me wrong. I don't know if you can still play it because it was sort of an online game. But if that's already happening, then what's going to happen in the future? And like you mentioned with music, there are a number of albums from artists that I like that I know for a fact are not on the main Spotify or Apple because they didn't want them to be. But they didn't. The physical versions of those albums you can't buy anymore, so I have no way of listening to them. And the other thing with music is now that we have these like streaming platforms, artists are being paid less for their music than if you were to buy like a CD or a vinyl or whatever. What's to say that once games all go digital, in order to please the customer, PlayStation decides to start putting the price down for the digital versions, but that then means that developers are being paid less for the games they're putting out there, which in turn means we're getting less quality games or less games in general because they don't want to make a game for what could possibly be a ridiculous price that can't substitute how much they put into it. And there's no guarantee that that's not where we're going to end up.
Yeah, I think everything is unpredictable, and it's kind of scary as a lifelong gamer and someone who's built something around the medium itself. It is very worrying to think where this might lead, what the consequences or the dominoes might lead to in 2, 5, 10 years if this goes ahead. I think that's a very good point about music, because now artists, the game is different, so they don't put out singles to entice you to buy the album. They put out singles in the hopes that someone on TikTok uses it.
Yep.
And it blows up, and many people use it. And then when you go to the concert, you can sing those 2 lines perfectly.
Yep. But you bought the £200 ticket, so they've made their money.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay. that's a positive for the artist at least. But yeah, Spotify, for example, pays very little for a stream, and for, I guess, for your large artists, for your Jay-Z's, for your Eminems, I think they're going to be fine for the rest of their lives. But like for your indie artists, it really does suck, and that is something that does bleed over into all of the arts. And when we look at gaming here, your hypothetical point of a potential developer being paid peanuts for putting in years of work into a game, I think there is real grounds for it. And as you've seen, the big PlayStation and Xbox have been hoarding studios over the past few years, and now all of a sudden we're seeing those studios being
Yep.
dismantled, and it's like, what were we doing then? Did you not have more than a 3-year plan? Because, for example, Compulsion Games, who built the really, really beautiful game South of Midnight, they've just been released from Xbox. So it's like, when you think about all of the hoo-ha, all of the fanfare that the announcements came with when they were saying, oh yeah, we've got Bethesda, yeah, we've got Compulsion Games, we've got
Mhm.
all of these, we've got Housemarque, we've got all of these studios, just to release them, it reads to me as if the market leaders have no idea what they're doing. That's very terrifying, because ultimately it will fall down on the consumers, and the working class ones more so.
Yeah. And I mean, I was just thinking, this feels like another step in the digital progression that all these gaming companies are trying to push. I mean, obviously, COVID had a factor, but even before and after that. So, like E3, for example, was the biggest gaming convention in the world. People would flock to it. Everyone would either tune in or try and go to Vegas to attend it. It would not just be the major platforms displaying their new games and their trailers. There would also just be a massive hall full of developers and like artists and everything. It was a chance for all gamers to come together. Since I think, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago? Actually, it might have been during COVID. Uh, E3 turned digital, which was fair enough. For COVID, it did, but then it never came back. It died a death, and now PlayStation, we get State of Play, Nintendo Direct, the Xbox One, I don't know the name of. We have these digital broadcasts, which is great because we can all sit down and watch the trailers that are coming out. But it feels very disjointed to the coming together that we used to have before. And I mean, with that as well, like the idea of sharing games with someone, you can't share a game digitally. And if your friend's going to buy it, then you talk about it online and you still got that level of separation. You borrow a game of someone, they give you the disc, you then talk about it, you give it back, they pass it on to another person, it gets passed on to someone that wouldn't even think of playing the game. And there's a level of community still. It does feel like this digital era is sort of disjointing us by putting us all in the cloud, for lack of a better word, rather than trying to bring us together physically.
That's a very good point. I think the more things change, the more things will stay the same. Or maybe a better way to say that is, I think a lot of things are cyclical. I think we'll see a desire for physical showcases to return, and maybe that will bring back E3 or something similar. But yeah, I do think E3 definitely had to go away, especially during the COVID era, and they couldn't pivot, they couldn't retaliate, they couldn't deal with that disaster. Not many people could. But I won't lie, I'm not really digging what has been left in its place. So
Yeah.
we've got Summer Games Fest,
Yeah.
which is basically E3 but on a screen.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a bit long. I don't mind the State of Play. I don't mind the Nintendo Direct. And I don't mind the Xbox version, because if it's segmented, or if it's paced or capped at maybe an hour or so, then it's fine. You have my attention. But I think E3 being hours a day across several days, I don't think an online only version of that hits the same.
Yeah.
I might be in the minority on that, but I'm here to stand on that. I also agree, as something that I said when it came to the digitization of PlayStation. They're killing communities.
Yeah.
And considering this is the same organization that once went viral because they physically handed over a game to their friend, going, "This is how you lend games to your friend."
Right?
Here you go. Considering Xbox went out on their ass with their Xbox One strategy, it is a cold
So
slap in the
ironic.
face. It's a cold slap in the face. From one point going, you know what? Those are my guys. They understand me. They understand gamers. So now they're like, oh wow, corporate America is just one again. Old
Yep.
Galactus here. It's a shame.
It is.
Yeah.
It's sad. And you know what's something trivial about E3 that I feel like I miss with the digital announcement platforms? It was so fun listening to a crowd react to a trailer. So now, if I watch like State of Play, for example, and I think we've talked about this, maybe not the most recent one, but the one before. So the last State of Play, obviously, God of War, Laufey was announced at the end. I funnily enough sat watching it on the plane on holiday, and I had to sit in my seat and go, oh my god, oh. No one to talk to. And there's no noise coming from the announcement either because it's just the trailer. I remember watching the announcement for The Last of Us, and you hear the crowd go absolutely mental, and it just fills you with so much joy because you're like, wow, this is so exciting. There's a new game. Everyone's on it. The same when The Last of Us 2 was announced, and that first little clip of the barn and the whole crowd went up. I got more excited for the game because of that than just because I wanted to see it. Now it's like, oh, this is an exciting trailer. Oh, this is an exciting trailer. But if it's not a game that I've thought about, I probably won't even play it because it's like, oh, this looks fun, but I have no idea if this is a good thing or a bad thing. And it gets lost.
Yeah. That's a core memory that you've unlocked in me just now. Because the way you were for Last of Us 1 and 2, that's how I was for God of War 2018.
Fair.
Because I think it was E3 2016. They opened Sony's segment of the showcase with just this weird orchestral performance, and there was a lot of throat singing. I was like, "Rah, what is this?" I was so confused. But they pivoted from the Norse singing to just gameplay, and we hear a deep voice. It's not the original Kratos voice, so we're like, "Who is this?" And then out of the shadows walks Kratos. And I kid you not, it was like being in a football stadium. bear in mind, I was watching this on the screen and I got goosebumps as if I was in Old Trafford. This was crazy. And like you said, that hyped me up so much more for the game's release. I supported it. I followed every announcement. I was just waiting. You got a new screenshot? Yes. Like pre-order? Okay. And that led me all the way to supporting it through the Game of the Year awards, where it beat out Red Dead Redemption 2, another solid game that in any other year wins Game of the Year, I think. But just that one moment from 2016 with Kratos walking out of the shade and everyone just going ape shit, and the director Cory Barlog with that smile on his face, that like, yeah, I did that shit.
Yeah,
yeah, I told you. And I actually think that was a big moment in changing everyone's attitude towards gaming. The destigmatization of games. It was going away anyway because the sheer quality and storytelling in games, but I do think there was still a mentality of games. Only nerds play that, or only losers play that. You know, people who go outside don't play games. But I think when you see the likes of Christopher Judge taking on the role, the main character of a video game, a lot of people open up and like, okay, this is just like TV. Oh, this is just like the movies. It went a long way in putting a lot of respect into video games, actually. And like you said, that's not going to really be a thing anymore, because now it's like, okay, we can go on Twitter or we can go on Instagram or TikTok and share in the buzz, but I don't know, it doesn't quite hit the same.
It doesn't give you the same sense of community as hearing someone else, oh my god, through your headphones, than seeing someone's OMG in a text. Like they don't feel the same at all.
Yeah, it's different. And I mean, I might have been on record in saying that E3 needed to die, but I do think it's been enough time for E3 to be resurrected and come back.
I mean, there are pros and cons to this, and I am going to say I feel like I am slightly biased in this debate because I am the sort of person that loves going to the cinema. I'd much rather go to the cinema than watch a film on my TV at home. I prefer a TV show coming out like staggered. I don't want it to all come out at once and I binge it because I forget about it and it clearly wasn't good enough. If it comes out week by week, I enjoy it. And then in the same way, I like my games physical. There's something about, I think it's obviously a nostalgia thing as well. There's something about, maybe not so much now walking into a game store because that's another thing, we don't really have them. But let's say ordering a game and taking out the package and feeling it and putting it on the shelf, and then you play it, and then maybe you forget about it for a couple years. If it was in my game library, I'd forget about it forever because I'd probably just delete it to get rid of storage and I'd never go back on it. If I open my cupboard and I've got one of the many stacked in front of me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to play that again. And I probably would because I can just see it and it's tangible rather than, oh, there's maybe something on my PlayStation that I can get out every now and again, but I'm not going to bother.
That is so true. Like a lot of our core memories are about the physical covers, whether it's games, whether it's a DVD, whether it's something else entirely, just holding the thing. There's a sense of ownership in that. And I know that in Europe, they are looking at ways as to preventing this from going ahead because far left French presidential candidate Jean-Luc Mélenchon, I did my research, has argued that video games should be treated as cultural assets.
It's physical media.
They should be protected. Exactly. Yep. Because we've all heard the term hood bankruptcy.
Yep.
It's a real thing. Like, hey, some people are down on their luck and they need to re-up. They need to flip that PS5 because they need to make ends meet. You can't do that. Or they need to flip their games. They can't do that if they're all locked onto this one account. It changes the entire game, for lack of a better word. And there are so many dominoes that could fall as a result. Like you mentioned in passing, retail stores are going to suffer. Many have already.
Does games still exist?
Not really.
Yeah, see?
The only game stores I know, I think, exist in like Sports Direct now. So it's not even... Yeah, they're not even standalone stores. We got secondhand stores that are as well.
The secondhand stores, though, are still going strong. I think nearly every single high street, obviously this is in London, but nearly every single high street I walk down, there is still a CEX. There's often another one. They're still going strong. And that just shows you, people still want to buy these games. They might not be able to. That's the other thing with physical media. Some people can't afford to pay 70, 80 quid for a brand new game. It's a lot of money, regardless of who you are. But you still want to play that game. You're still a gaming fan. You still want to play that game. You wait a couple months or you wait a couple of years and maybe PlayStation will discount it on the online store. Or you wait till someone else has played it and either you borrow it or you go to a secondhand store and there it is, 20 quid. And you still get to have your fun moment of, oh my God, this is a game I've always wanted to play, but I've not forked out like a day's wage or something on it.
Yeah, I think it's all about choice. It's all about giving the gamer the choice. If the gamer really wants to play that game, hey, maybe they'll buy it day one. And if they're okay with not being part of that first wave and they can wait for a sale or wait for their friend to finish it and then it can be lent to them, then hey, you have more people playing your game. That is the community aspect.
Yeah.
And you know what? That might be a lost leader because, hey, maybe you haven't sold 2 copies of that game, but maybe that game was so good that that player is going to go, you know what? When the next game comes out, I'm going to buy it because it was so good.
Right. Word
of mouth and goodwill goes so far, especially in a very expensive age like now. I think we are in such a weird time because there are... If you don't have the disc, do you really own the game?
Which is basically what PlayStation would say, and they can take it back.
Exactly. there's already controls in place now to stop you from going on your own PlayStation that you've already bought with your own money if you aren't 18 plus. Like, luckily, that doesn't really affect us or our audience, but hey, we weren't gaming we didn't start gaming as adults. We started
No.
gaming at the age of what, 3, 5?
Yeah.
You could argue there are safety reasons, but then you could just do what Xbox do and put child safety in place and not ban them from engaging at all with the console. So
Yes.
I think this is an overcorrection, which is again killing off their community. And kids are where your brand live on through, because
Yeah.
adults will age out, they'll stop playing, and it will just die off. But if you have adults who can share the medium with their kids, then that is how your brand lives on and stands the test of time. I'm with you in terms of being, I don't know if old school is the right term, but I guess it is, in terms of preferring to go to the cinema to watch a movie, even though the youth of today, they need to sort themselves out, because
we're not going to go into that.
they have I will. They have no manners. They have no manners. They have no respect. Uncultured swine. These kids will turn up to a cinema late, then they will get up while the movie is going to get popcorn or some shit, and then they will sit back down. I don't know if I told you about my experience watching Sonic 3 in the cinema.
No.
So my brother and I were on time. These kids came in, they were late.
Obviously.
Then one of them got up to get popcorn and stuff, and I'm just thinking, brother, you're late. Just take the L, get food afterwards.
Yeah. The thing that I don't understand about kids that do this, though, sorry to interrupt, is you've paid money to be here. Why are you not sitting and watching the film? You've paid, what, 20 quid? I don't know how much a cinema ticket is.
Yeah,
it's expensive anymore. 20 quid. You paid 20 quid to come and watch a film that presumably you wanted to come watch, and yet you're not watching the film.
It's
I'm sorry, what?
Baffling.
Let's not get into movies too much.
Then as the kid comes back, steps on my foot.
Oh God, rude.
And then the first time Shadow appears on screen, he goes, "Oh, it's Shadow!" To the point where his friends go, "Shut up, bro."
Oh no.
I'm still waiting for the DVD to come out, because I don't think I saw 100% of that film.
Yeah, fair. I purposely go to the cinema, before we get too much into movies, I purposely go to the cinema at times when I know kids will not be there. Or at least I try to. And I go to the cinemas that I know kids don't go to, because they're slightly more expensive ones.
I should
to avoid this.
I'm going to start doing that. Not going on Saturdays anymore.
No, it's not worth it. Go on like a Tuesday evening. There's no one there.
Might even take the day off.
Right? Let's go back to games.
Yeah, I was gonna go to music.
Oh yeah.
The memories I've got with picking up my first ever album, which was a 50 Cent one. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yep.
Actually holding the album and going, wait, is this thing broken? It's a core memory that lives on with me. And it's just the ownership. No one can take that CD away from me. I can replay it as many times as I want. I don't have to worry about Spotify or Apple. Is Tidal even a thing anymore?
Who knows? Don't think so.
Well,
see,
I don't have to worry about that.
Gone.
Exactly. I don't have to worry about that being taken away, and I don't have any more access to my favorite albums anymore. No. And even TV series, I'm with you. I much prefer a staggered release. I can't stand the entire season being released on one day, because you know what happens? Everyone binges it and everyone talks about it for like 3 days.
Yep.
And then we move on to the next thing. And
then there's the overconsumption of media, and now there's just so much stuff coming out that even the good stuff gets lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X-Men 97 is a perfect example for me, because I have to wait every Wednesday. It gives me something to look forward to. And the season lives so much longer in my memory, because it's not just, okay, I'm just I'm just trying to get all of this out, these 10 episodes in one day. Boom. No, it's an episodic journey for me as well as the show, and I'm loving it right now, and it's strong. It's what I wish Invincible was, but we won't get into that. And with video games, yeah, it's just the same. Like, whether you get your games day one or whether you get them a year after release, whether you get them in a secondhand store, whether you get them secondhand from a friend, that physical disc, that physical cover art still means a lot
Yeah.
to me.
And like how you said about children being the where your brand you need to focus on because they're going to be the ones that are going to support your brand growing up. In the same way that they're getting into new media, but even people that are not saying people my age, but people that aren't kids, there are games that I would have looked at on the store and seen, oh my god, it's £70. I'm just not. I'm sure it's a good game, but I'm never gonna try it until someone says, oh, you should try it, and they give me the disc. Prime example being Ghost of Tsushima. I saw it, everyone said it was amazing, and I'm like, I'm sure it is, but I'm not paying £60-70 for the game on the store. It wasn't on sale anywhere on like Argos or whatever. And then we had a conversation. You're like, well, I've got it. Do you want to borrow it? Sure. One of that and Ghost of Yote, which I then also borrowed off a friend, very conveniently, is one of the best games I played in the last like 5 years. But I would never have played it because I would have just looked at the store and thought, too expensive. Let's go on something cheaper.
Yeah. And that is just one of the natural things in, I guess, consumption or in business. Games back in the day when we were starting out in the fandom were so much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So dropping £30 on a game and not enjoying it doesn't hurt as much as dropping £70 on a game and not liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
hurts. Yeah. I still have games that have burnt me, and I'm like, I would never support this franchise again just because that's a lot of money to not enjoy the game, to not complete the game because I'm bored. You must be crazy. That's insane for me. So now there are games that I'm like, I really like the sound of this game. I like the look of this game. Strong studio. Not paying that much for it because I'm not utterly convinced that I'm going to enjoy it. There may be, I don't know, 1-2 games a year that I have that kind of faith in.
Yeah. I do in this argument, I do want to broach like the devil's advocate side, because obviously we have a very firm opinion on what we believe should be the way, but I think it's worth touching on the other side of excuse me, what people would think. So PC gaming is obviously a good example because PC gaming now is purely digital. I don't think there is, I mean, people can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's any games really that are released, physical PC games that people are going out and buying. It is all digital. And PC is thriving. So is this PlayStation's, I don't know, way of being like, well, this is what the market is doing. Do we follow it?
That's a really good question. Essentially, and exactly, especially, that's the word I wanted to use, especially because we have seen Xbox and PC have a really great marriage for many years, and we have seen more recently PlayStation tried to work with the PC ecosystem with a lot of their big first-party games or second-party games go onto PC after a year or two. So we've seen it with God of War, we've seen it with Spider-Man, I think we've seen it with Death Stranding and The Last of Us, just to name a few. So there is credence to that. Maybe that is something that they've seen and they want to have some of that ecosystem for themselves. And then they have since split with that ecosystem. They have stopped putting their games out on PC because I think they've realized, hey, if people can play the biggest PlayStation titles on PC, why do they need a PlayStation?
Exactly.
So I hear it. I think PlayStation need to realize that they're not PC because that works for PC, that works for Steam, that works for that ecosystem, mainly because it's not locked into one type of game or one type of publisher.
Yeah.
They allow all types of games to be played, whether it's Black Myth Wukong or whether it's Lies of P. You can pretty much play any game that isn't an exclusive on the console on the PC, and that is quite literally what makes PC gaming work.
Yeah.
And hell yeah, if PlayStation don't change their mind, I might have to go that way too. I mean, building a PC is very expensive right now, but this might be what they're forcing their gamers towards, because PlayStation are hanging out because they have a certain list of IPs that are like, you can't get these anywhere else, and this is the true seal of quality. If they start gatekeeping their own gamers, they're going to go somewhere where it's affordable, because we are very lucky and fortunate in the UK to be like, oh, okay, £70 in the game. Okay, maybe I have to save for a couple months. Maybe, I just whatever. Maybe I get it on Klarna. But there are some countries out there where they can't really afford that.
Yep.
Or they buy hacked versions of the games because the affordability is so different to what PlayStation want for their games.
Yeah.
I think that's something they need to wake up to. Also, the PlayStation Store isn't available in every country.
Right?
So they are literally gatekeeping some of their gamers. Some people might not be able to play games from 2028 on the PlayStation.
They are minimizing their fan base with every single step that's happening. I mean, the first was the PlayStation 5 being released in a disc and a digital version, and the disc version being more expensive. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was less, and that doesn't make sense. The disc version being more expensive. So people that are disc people anyway, and maybe you couldn't afford that extra bit, you then had to go digital, whether you wanted to or not, and then you're locked into the digital ecosphere. And like you said, there's only the PlayStation Store. It's like you can go to in official terms, there's only the PlayStation Store. You can't go to another online store to get your games. So you're locked into that. That's the first step. Now this step of only digital version. So all of us that bought a disc version is now just, what's the point? We've just spent more money for no reason. And then, like we've said, you're then going to be locking people out of the store itself because some countries can't have it, some people can't afford it, all of this. Your fan base is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and people that can actually play your games are getting smaller. From a business point of view, you're losing money because you're not opening opportunity to all of your customers, and half of your fan base are going to turn around and say, well, actually, if this is the way that you want to treat someone that's been loyal to you, I am going to go to PC or I'm going to go to Xbox. They may not be my favorites, but I can go to PC and I can play probably a game that someone will realize. So let's say, I don't know, what's an example? I'm looking at my stack of games here. Like, I don't know, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is obviously on all the platforms, but PlayStation's made it. Let's say that for some reason PlayStation wants to suddenly lock the next Tomb Raider into PlayStation only as a digital version. What's to stop some PC developer from making a game that's basically the same as Tomb Raider and calling it, I don't know, Cave Diver, and releasing that, and then everyone just plays that because they want to play a Tomb Raider game? Like,
Yeah,
you're
nothing.
See, you're limiting the people that couldn't be supporting you by allowing other people to make opportunities. It just doesn't make sense.
And conversely, they're asking for more and more money from a smaller pool of people.
Right.
I think someone upstairs should be telling them that this doesn't make sense, or you know what's going to happen eventually? The bubble's going to burst.
Yeah.
And sorry, you
I was
going to
say, I wonder if we're going to have like an Xbox One situation, like you said, where they say we're going to go digital from 2028, and maybe the PS6, they're like, oh, digital only. It makes like hardly any sales, and then 6 months down the line, they're like, oh, actually, we're going to release a disc version now and bringing discs back.
They have to be very careful. They have to be very careful with that, because quite literally, Xbox One did that. Yeah, it was Xbox One. The 360 was wildly successful.
Mhm.
And the Xbox One did that. They made all their rules about you have to connect once every 30 days to the internet. And then the backlash was so harsh that they were like, hey, we're canceling all of those rules, okay?
Right.
And you know what the fans said? You know what the gamers said? We don't care.
Yeah.
And they all went off and bought PS4s.
Yeah. And now
And the
Xbox is
Xbox
struggling.
exactly. And the Xbox Series X and S, who have nothing to do with that mistake, are suffering as a result of that, where developers are all making their games with PC and PS5 and the PlayStation in mind. They're not thinking about the Xbox.
Yeah.
They have to be very careful because the backlash might be louder than the apology, and you don't want that.
I wonder if Sony have even realized how strongly opinionated gamers are. And I don't mean that to sound no, I don't mean that to sound a little bit idiotic, because obviously gamers have strong opinions, and there are all sorts of streamers and gamers of notoriety that we know of their opinions. But I wonder if Sony has realized that as a collective, how opinionated gamers are, and that they think they can get away with this because they're like, well, people just continue to buy our games, not realizing the amount of backlash that is going to come from it because they just haven't thought that it's going to happen yet. Like, they release a bad game and someone doesn't like it and they're like, oh, it's fine, we'll make another one. They do this and there's backlash from it. Like you said, they might have screwed themselves over completely.
Exactly. I think that is very much their mentality. I very much think PlayStation can either ignore or pay it away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to happen with this. This is too huge a decision for it to just be ignored.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that is what they're thinking. Who cares? They're still going to buy the GTA 6. Who cares? They're still going to buy the PS6. All we need to do is say a new God of War game's coming out and they're going to come running back. So I think they're overconfident. I think they're sniffing their own stew a little bit. And I do think they need to wake up and realize that we are not in an age where people are loyal to things anymore.
Yeah.
People are loyal to people, and people are looking for the best deal constantly.
Yeah.
I'm a PlayStation fan through and through, but if they go ahead with this, look, Nintendo, Xbox, there's plenty out there.
I'll buy a gaming PC, like you said. It might cost more, but in the end, I'll be happier.
It will probably cost you less overall.
That's true. With all the £70 digital games I'd have to get.
Right? And with Steam, you can get so many games for, I don't know, less money on average. It is becoming more loyalty than logic that are keeping people tied into one game platforms. And now we are asking the platforms, what are you giving me to remain loyal to you? And I think that is the way it should be. I'm all for people and companies making fair money, but I'm also gonna be pro consumer always. So yeah, I think PlayStation I think they're feeling it a little bit, but I think they'll feel it. I think the only thing that will wake them up is for it to hit their wallets.
Yeah.
Now, I know personally I've canceled my PS Plus and I have no intention of getting another subscription with them again. I know many other people have cancelled their subscriptions. Many people are, I don't know whether they're cancelling the pre-orders, but they are being very vocal in terms of online and in terms of their wallets. Every time PlayStation posts, all I can see are disc emojis. No disc, no buy. What's the other one? If you don't own your games, then piracy isn't stealing. People are not being silent about this. There are petitions out there that have hundreds of thousands of signatures. Like I said, people who could be the president of leading countries in Europe are saying Sony are messing up, and someone's got to tell them. We have to put it into law. PlayStation Store are in a multi-billion-pound lawsuit as we speak because of dynamic pricing, because there are no competitors.
Right.
Which means PlayStation can charge whatever they want for their games, and you are stuck. and they. I think it's like 160 odd pounds that each UK gamer
Yes.
might be entitled to receive
Yes.
if PlayStation lose this lawsuit. Like that is a lot of money.
It is.
There's
It
another
is.
lawsuit in the Netherlands because they announced this physical erasure.
They're acting
only
like a
hope-
company that's got money to burn. And you might have
Yeah.
some money, but you do not have enough money for all of the lawsuits that are coming your way.
Right? This is literally going to cost them billions.
Yeah.
And I think if it was in the millions, I think they'd be okay. But it's in the billions. So I'm like, I don't know how much you think you've
destroying
got,
your own company. And on like the online thing, so I'm incredibly stubborn. I have never subscribed or paid for any online service. As soon as online became a paid service on any platform, I didn't subscribe to it. Because I'm sorry, why am I paying to be able to talk to a friend? Just because they're not in the same house as me, they own the same game, I'm having to pay what, like £9 a month or whatever it is, to press a button, connect online, and be like, "Hi, next door, we're playing the same game now." No, I'm sorry, I'm a single gamer for a reason, because that annoyed the hell out of me, and I just refused to do it. And so when I joke, and if anyone has watched the previous podcast episodes where I introduced myself, I always say I don't play online. I'm just not interested. It's because I don't want to pay for it. That's as simple as that. If I want to play with a friend, I'll invite them around. We'll play some co-op game that has come out, or they can play the game and I'll sit and watch them. That's much more involved for me than subscribing to be able to talk to someone online. I just think it's so ridiculous.
I agree with you. I'm gonna cancel my Nintendo Online membership now. I always forget because it's really a small amount, but I think it's the principle now because I don't play online anymore. That doesn't. I don't know what happened. I think it was a couple years ago. I'm bored of it. I just don't enjoy playing online with others now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm literally just going to. If I want to play games with you, I'll go to your house.
Right.
You can come to my house.
Right.
Or better yet, you can come to one of Streamcast's monthly game nights. Here's the next one. Thursday, the 6th of August from 7 p.m. till 10. It's going to be back home at Zombie Games Cafe. And these are going to be free. All you need to do is bring your best self. We'll bring the vibes. There are tons of games, whether it's modern or classic. And this is Jamaican Independence Day. So please help us, join us as we celebrate a big monumental occasion for many of our Black gamers, many of our friends and family who are Jamaican. Please come through. I want to learn dominoes, so I might buy
old school.
Yeah, we're going tangible. It doesn't get much more tangible than that. Yeah, so if you know how to play dominoes, come through and teach me. Let's go. There'll be a link in the description if I remember. I'm so good at business, Gabby.
Right? I feel like we've argued to Kingdom Come on our thoughts on why discs should exist. I think we should take a nostalgia trip. And I mean, I've got a stack of games. I know you got a stack of games. But before we get into that, I had I feel like I saw a video, something. Maybe it was someone complaining about this whole fiasco. Don't you remember that physical games, when you opened them, there used to be a fat booklet in the front cover that had also, maybe you'd get a map in there, maybe you'd get a little secret cheat sheet, maybe they give you a little discount code for like some extra gear or something. What's going to happen to all that when it's digital? You're giving me nothing else but the game. I know it's your job to give me the game for what I pay for, but why not put a little something extra in it? That's the joy of gaming. Like I would open a disc back in PS2 days. I mean, PS3, PS4 and PS5 are pushing it obviously slightly, but back in those days, you'd open, you'd be like, "Oh, I wonder what I've got inside the box today." You'd never know. I remember I think up to GTA 4. I don't know about GTA 5. You'd get the map in the disc box. Are you going to send me a map when I download the digital version? Are you going to give me a wallpaper of a map? I don't want that.
That's so true. And I think with each generation, it's gotten smaller and smaller. But yeah, when you got the game, you got a manual. Sometimes it would be flavor text. You get backgrounds about all the characters. Sometimes it will be how to what buttons do what, or strategies on the game. I've got a Yu-Gi-Oh game right here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
Wow, old.
Yeah. And it's got a manual. And
See?
it actually it teaches you how to play the game. This does not follow the actual Yu-Gi-Oh game. So I do not know how to play this game. But in this manual, I can learn how to play the game because there are hidden mechanics exclusive to this game and of this era. And because there is a manual, I can figure that out. But when you go into like the PS4 era, you just get like a piece of paper that goes, L1 does this. L2 does this.
If that, or it's just the cover inside. I'm like, I've got the cover, I've got the game. Why are you giving me another picture?
And I've ordered, or I've been very lucky to have received gifts of collector's editions of games. And I'm so excited to get the disc. I can't wait to put this in my console. Or to just get a piece of paper going, here's your code for the collector's edition. Put it in. I feel so ripped off. Even though I've got like this play hammer or this flamethrower. Games are nothing without the physical CD for me. So it's just a disappointment.
That's a good point on the collectors. Like a lot of the collector's editions, the what do you call them? What is this? Disc box? What do you call it?
Cover box, art box.
Yeah,
cover.
That. In the collector's editions, they're like steel or tin. They're metal. They're heavy. They're tangible. If you're gonna make it all digital, so let's say you can still get a collector's edition, something like my brother bought. Oh my god, my brain is failing me. Warhammer, the collector's edition, obviously came with a statue. Came in a tin box. Really cool. If you're gonna get the digital version of that, I presumably should still get the statue, or you're gonna make that digital as well. Maybe you're gonna give me a digital statue, and then are you gonna give me the tin box with nothing inside, or am I not even gonna get that? So you're just gonna send me a statue, and then in that point, I should have just bought the statue from someone else. Why did I buy a collector's edition?
I just had a negative brainwave.
Oh, what does that mean?
They're gonna give us NFTs.
Oh my god! I thought we got rid of those.
I thought we defeated them.
No, PlayStation's bringing them back.
Hey, don't blame me. If this actually happens, don't blame me. It's not.
I will
not my
be.
fault. It's
You
not
put it out of the universe.
It's not my fault. In essence, we just need to bully Sony enough so that they reverse the decision. That's all it takes. The same way we bullied Sega from scrapping that really obscure, hideous-looking Sonic from their live-action franchise. And we bullied them to make an actual Sonic.
It did work.
We must bully Sony into cancelling their own law. If not for us, for the lawsuits that they will face and lose.
We're doing it for their sake. We're looking out for them.
And isn't that what the people are here for in the first place?
Right?
But if you're watching and or listening to this, let us know what your thoughts are about Sony scrapping physical discs from 2028. This has been going around for a couple of weeks now, and I'm sure many of you have had your say already, but let this be a community, a hub for you to share your opinion as well, because I think gamers are stronger together, like any community. So please feel free, whether it's in the live chat or in the comments or on YouTube or Spotify, wherever it is that you enjoy our podcasts. But I think you said something very, very good earlier, Gabby. I think we've spewed a lot of negativity. Let's flip that on its head and let's turn this negative piece of news into a positive by strolling down memory lane and talking about our favorite physical games and the memories allocated to them. So, Gabby, you started this off with a massive, impressive pile of games. Why don't you go through some of those memories?
I do have to preface, so I'm going to have to be really awkward and like unstack as I go, but I am going to have to preface and say this is just the stack of games that I have bought myself in the last 3-4 4 years. And anyone that has listened to the pod before with me on it, they know that I have 2 brothers that are heavy gamers. So a lot of the time I borrow games. Oh, I'm blocking the camera. Sorry, I didn't even realize. A lot of the time I would borrow games off them. But the other point is that back in my parents' house, we have a lot, and I mean a hell of a lot of games, all physical, because my brother, like me, is an advocate for disc games. He will always buy the disc, always has, always will. And I mean PlayStation 1 all the way to PlayStation 5. Any game that he ever wanted, he bought the physical version, if not the collector's edition version. So this is just a small sample of some of the games. But the ones I'm trying to get to, because these are fan favorites that have gotten me through the test of times. And I think were the first games that I bought myself when I got my brother's old PS3. And they're not going to be in order, but it is the Arkham series. Right? There you go, nostalgia trip. And this one is even pre-owned. Look, where's the camera? Pre-owned, $12.99. Didn't buy it full price because I couldn't afford it. These games, and I do also have Lego Batman, because the old one on PlayStation 3, because you got to complete the Holy Trinity and the fourth. It's like the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus, technically.
That's so getting
I wish I hadn't said that. But the Arkham series is one of my favorite series from the PS3. These are the original discs. These aren't ones that I've rebought. These are the ones that I played back in my youth. And they still are brilliant games. I know that they've either been remastered or they made the VR version or they've tried to bring it back. And Batman has had its ups and its downs. I mean, there's that new Lego Batman game, which I haven't played, but if anyone wants to give me a copy to borrow, we'll happily borrow from them. But these, I think, genuinely got me into like action, like role-playing, thrillery kind of storytelling games. These were the ones. The only other series alongside it, which I haven't got the physicals for here, but back at my parents' house I do, is the Uncharted series, because the first one was on the PS3. And those were the reason that I am now a full-on single adventure story gamer, and those are the sort of games that I play. So I'm starting with these 3.
That's very strong,
right?
And,
yeah, beat that.
I know. I still. So I'm in a dilemma because I have the Uncharted series, but I'm pretty sure that's digital.
Disgraceful.
So that just means I'm gonna have to buy them physically.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I will go. I mean, I won't talk too long about this because I think everyone who knows me knows that I love this game. I did speak about it over the weekend. It's God of War 3 with some friends. Without this game, there is no Streamcast because Isaac and myself, who is the original co-host of Streamcast, we bonded over this game, and it's something that literally kickstarted our friendship. And once you have one point of resonance, you tend to figure out other points of resonance as well. So we figured that we like a lot of the same stuff. We like anime, but this is the initiation. This is the genesis of Streamcast, and this wouldn't have happened if I didn't choose to remain on the PlayStation, where it felt like everyone else went over to the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
I remember vividly in secondary school, I don't know why, but like these boys were just going around to everyone going, "Are you PS or Xbox?" And then like when the few people that were like, "You know what, I'm gonna get a Wii," they were like, "Oh, he's nin." It was so weird. It was like the only thing I could compare it to is when people in primary school went around going, "Oh, are you Man United? Are you Man U or Arsenal? Man U or Arsenal?" Like, what? You gotta pick one. Man U or Arsenal? There are no other teams.
It's like Apple versus Windows all over again.
Yeah. So I could have gone to Xbox 360 because the vast majority of the students went there, but I stayed on PS3. I got this, and when PlayStation got hacked, they actually gave all their gamers 2 free games to get, and because of that, I had the amazing pleasure of playing Infamous, which I don't have a physical copy of, but it's also one of the greatest gaming experiences I've had. So staying on the PS3 literally birthed the Streamcast. It wouldn't be a podcast right now without this game.
Strong.
Check it out.
I'm
Check it out.
trying to find and I want to stick on PS3. I've got more PS3 games here, but they're not necessarily all relevant. I found one that I think is got a great story. Oh, it feels really heavy. Oh, look, there's an example of one with a booklet. So this game I have never played to completion, funnily enough. I know probably about, I don't know, 60%, 70%, maybe even higher of PlayStation players have played this because it is a timeless game and it is mentioned all the time by PlayStation players. But I started playing it, and the intro scene, everyone knows very well. I did the intro scene. You'll realise what I'm on about when I show you the game. We did the intro scene, got about 4 hours into the game, thought I saved it, closed the game, opened it back up. It hadn't saved. So I then had to do the intro scene all over again. And again, I got another 3 hours in, and I was like, right, I'm making sure to save. Close the game. Opened it back up. It hadn't saved. Everything kept corrupting. The intro scene started again. And at that point, I was like, I'm not touching it. Skyrim. Everyone knows that wagon cart intro scene with the dragon that goes on forever and they're talking. Everyone knows of it. I had to do that 3 times. And at that point, I was like, not anymore. But fair play to anyone that's actually completed Skyrim and loves it, because it's a well-beloved game. I actually have the physical copy, yet despite the fact that I've not played it. But I feel like I had to share that because it's here. And I did just shake it because it's so heavy. And despite this being a PlayStation 3 game, it's got a manual.
That's thick.
And inside, it's got maps, tricks, tips. It's a 22-page manual inside there. It's pretty solid.
We were spoiled.
Skyrim.
We were so spoiled. I'm going to go back in time a little bit, back to the PS2 era. I might have told this story a couple times on the pod. I think I've told this story with you on the pod.
Oh, yeah?
It's Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. And please note, I have the superior European cover, not the grey American one, which is inferior. You Americans missed out. I'm so sorry. So I don't know if I was a good kid or a bad kid, but when Christmas came around, I would ask my parents, I really want this game. I don't want anything else. I just want this. And I thought I was asking the world because I don't know why. But I knew when my parents bought our Christmas gifts because I would find it, scratch the gift wrap off, and then I could see what the game was. Yeah. I could see what my gift was, and then hide the gift wrapping back under the part I ripped off. Doesn't matter whether they knew I found it or not, because I knew what I was getting. So I knew how happy or disappointed to be. And I was never disappointed because I got this game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. It is the first game that taught me that anime games can be good.
Sorry.
Because I got another one, which is not as good. Dragon Ball Final Bout. This is my first ever Dragon Ball game. And I'm pretty sure someone in the area stole it, who obviously I don't talk to anymore. But this is my genesis into anime games, and absorbing something that I enjoyed so much as a TV show in another medium, something that I had more control over. I can control the fighters. I can make them go Super Saiyan. I can do all of this stuff. Unfortunately, this game sucks, but it's got a banging intro. This game is good though. And I've even replayed it recently. So I have full confidence in promoting this game, in recommending it to anyone who likes Dragon Ball. You will enjoy this game. And when it comes to Dragon Ball games, or any game that's been a long running series of any kind, you run into the old chicken and egg situation of how do we make these games interesting
Mhm.
when you just play out the same story every year, but then when you divert from that, people go, oh, it's different, I don't like it. That's what this game did. So a lot of people don't like it, but I actually think it's unique and it stands the test of time. It's on a board game and it's got what if fusions. It's got a lot of stuff that I wish its successor Budokai 3 had, and maybe I'll touch on that later.
Solid. I don't have any PS1 or PS2 games. If anyone wants to go back and watch previous episodes that I was on, you'll know what a couple of my favorite PS2 games were. Do also have to shout out, just because I was a teenage girl back when the PS2 was released, I also owned every single SingStar game. Did you have SingStar?
I did not.
SingStar, for anyone that doesn't know, was a PS2 series of games with 2 microphones. It was like karaoke but on the PlayStation. I loved it. They made about 15 different games of all variety. I think I owned every single one. I'm not going to go more into PS3. These are the other PS3 games I have. Ironically, there's Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3.
One of the greatest games of all time.
And it's still going.
Do you know how crazy
PS3?
Do you know how good a game you have to be to survive PS3, PS4, and PS5? That's actually crazy.
Great game, but also like you're pushing your limits. Like, calm down. There's no need for it. I mean, I've got Saints Row 4 is another honorary announcement in PS3. I'll put those down there. PS4. Oh, right, here we go. I'm gonna have to quickly find some. Oh, here we go. I have mentioned these. I've mentioned these before because, again, another one of my favorite game series is first of all Yakuza 0.
Ooh.
So
We've had great
Yakuza,
conversations about that game.
we have. Yakuza is a PlayStation franchise that is both super popular but also kind of unknown. If you know of Yakuza, you know how big the fan base is. If you don't know of Yakuza, this is going to be a foreign concept to you. But Yakuza 0 was essentially the prequel to, oh my god, 5, 6 games. I forget how many there were before this one, or this is the 6th. Anyway, this game is approximately 100 hours long. It's stupidly ridiculously long. I had to do it in like 2 sittings over the course of like 2 years because I'd stopped for too long and then couldn't remember how to replay it. But it is such an amazing game. The emotional storytelling is amazing. You get so invested. It's a lot to remember and figure out because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of names, there's a lot going on. But obviously it says right there, PlayStation hits. Like this is a very important game. Have to have the physical version. And then for Christmas a couple years ago, because I played the originals on PlayStation 3, my brother got me the remastered collection which has 3, 4, and 5 on it. Physical copy, also a must. Yakuza.
That is so sweet. And again, that's another thing that keeps gamers in the fandom for so long. When your memories of some of your favorite ever games are accompanied by, hey, my family member got me this, or my partner got me this.
Right? I thought that when you were talking about the gift wrapping, as a kid, if you got a PlayStation game, they're a very unique shape. Like, you know what you're getting, and you shake it, you can hear the disc. If I felt that in my pile, I'd be so excited. Now, as a kid, if you're given a game, what do you get? A voucher? And then it just looks like you got a bit of cardboard. Or they just have to buy it on the PlayStation and be like, oh, Merry Christmas, go on the TV. What?
I won't lie. That's happened a couple of times.
Oh, God.
And it's kind of awkward. Like, I've bought games for friends and partners back in the day. And when you buy them a digital game, if you're not careful, they know that you've bought the game for them already because most consoles are linked to email addresses.
And you can't hide it. You can't buy it in advance and hide it.
Yeah, the surprise is completely ruined. Or like, oh yeah, that game's still downloading. Whoops, that's your gift.
Or you buy it for them and you haven't downloaded it and you're like, here's your game. Now wait 3 days before you can play it.
It's not quite the same. It's not the
It's
same.
not. It's not. Right, go on up next. What have you got?
What's next for me? I'm going to go with. This is definitely one I've spoken about before. It's FIFA Street.
Oh, classic.
It's the game of brotherhoods. It's the game that my brother and I bonded over so much because it's one of the things that we have the same amount of passion for. I would say we love football. It's and he is my brother's a genius when it comes to football. He's like he knows everything about the players and all the tactics and all of that stuff. So when it came to a street version of football, what we were actually doing in the cages, we were all over this. I need to actually get working PS2 pads because we tried to play this recently and it didn't work. Only one pad worked.
Oh no!
So only one of us won every single time. But it was still such a fun experience, and seeing like the greatest players like Rooney and Cafu and Ronaldinho and Zidane in a different world where they're in like bibs instead of actual kits, and they're just like in the street and they're doing all these tricks and everyone's falling over each other, and you could do game breakers and make the whole team walk off in disgrace. Those are some of the most fun memories I've had playing a game ever. And again, it's nothing to do with online, nothing to do with like ranked mode or anything like that. I miss this, and I'm on a mission to find a working PS2 so I can play this again.
I think, because I was going to say, I'm looking at the games in front of me, and although I love them all, they've got PS2 era for media. We've said this before, which is elite. Nostalgia, all of that, whatever. The amount of games I had on PS2 also elite. And I'm looking at the games in front of me, and I'm like, these are all good, but all I'm remembering is the ones I had on PS2. So you reminded me with that of what was it, SSX3, the snowboarding game, which I think everyone had. Another great game. And there was another one that my brain just thought of and it's completely gone, but was also on PS2 because there was something about the PS2, the white at the top with the PS2. I'm not a fan of the blue and the white of the PS4 and the 5. They look too similar. Where's the uniqueness? Where's the PlayStation 2 gone? I would be able to see that at the top and immediately identify it. Anyway, that was a tangent. Let me find another one. The thing is, I don't think I have anything here that's like old school. I'm just gonna like list them because these are all like, apart from that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are all relatively new. Like Assassin's Creed is there. Tomb Raider got reminded earlier. Steins Gate. I don't know if anyone's ever played Steins Gate. I've also got the first one on number 3. I've got 0 on PS4 here. That's a great game. Horizon, Split Faction. These are all like modern games. Spider-Man 2, Astrobot. Oh, shout out God of War, Ragnarok. Amazing game. Yeah. I'm sure Andy will be both happy and disappointed when I told him that I only recently played it and have finished it as of like 2 days ago. It's been a game that I've always wanted to play, and in my memory, I had played it when it came out, and then I sat down, bought it on sale in Argos, sat down to play it again and was like, yeah, I'll go play it again because I don't remember it. Got about an hour in and realised I hadn't played it, and my memories of God of War were memories of the 2018 version and not of Ragnarok. And so I basically played an entire new game. It's great.
That's what gaming is all about, and I'm not disappointed at all. Because you're now an additional person who's experienced this game and you enjoyed it. That's nothing negative about that.
That's true.
That's beautiful stuff.
I mean, everything else in this pile is all new. The only other ones that I have picked out, I mean, one is a remaster, is my most recent favorite game franchise. And I don't think anyone can argue that they're not amazing games. And I have the original part 1 back at home. This is obviously the remaster. And then part 2 on the PS4. But it is The Last of Us. So obviously part 1 came out on PS3, so I feel like I need to have that one here as a little reminder. But PS3 part 1, PS4 part 2, remaster part 1, PS5. Amazing games. Well, the reason I have these here is because I stole them from home. I say stole them, my brothers. Because I wanted to play them again, because I haven't played them in years. They're such good games. My partner has not played either game, has only watched the TV series. And I just said to him, like, I'm sure that I've watched the TV series is good, but it's got nothing on the games, and you need to become emotionally invested in the game. So I brought them home for him, but also so I can play again. And I just think if for some reason anyone listening to this has not played the Last of Us series, first of all, what the fuck's wrong with you? Sorry. Secondly, please play it. Please borrow it off a friend. Get it from CEX. There are 1,000 copies everywhere. Please play it.
You won't be disappointed.
Right.
That actually unlocked another memory of when we talk about everyone's going off about this Last of Us series on HBO or whatever, and we're like, yeah, okay, but we play the games. Like, the games are the utmost experience. That is the best way to experience that story.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think Connor needs to play those games.
Yes, he does. He does.
You spoke about Ragnarok. I'll speak about the predecessor.
Yeah.
Of course, God of War. It's still my favorite game of all time. There we go. Sorry, the light is shining. There we go. Yeah, this is the game that I was talking about from E3 2016, where Kratos just walked out of the shade and was like, well, boy, I guess we're hunting deer. And it is such a good game. And this is one of the few games that I went out of my way to get the platinum trophy for, and I don't know if I have it in me to ever plat a game again. I just don't care anymore. But this game means so much to me, and this one is just as responsible for Streamcast as this one that I threw away earlier. No, that's PS4 version. This one. Without this game, we don't get a Streamcast, because whilst this one kicked off the bond between Isaac and I, this one was like the kickstarting moment of where I went to him, hey, you want to start a pod?
Mm-hmm.
So if not for this game, you don't have a Streamcast. And I know some of you are happy about that. But again, it's just one of those games where the story flows through the game mechanics so well, with the really tortured and strained relationship between father and son. And because of that, when you fight together, the son is offbeat and he's a few seconds off when you tell him to fire. So it's a bit more difficult to fight enemies. But as you go through the story and you realize how much you care for each other, and you come back from the point where you argue, because that's something I think specifically movies and Disney movies actually do really well. They showcase the fracas, the fractured moments between relationships between loved ones that sometimes you argue, sometimes you don't like each other, but family should always come back together and be stronger than ever once they reconcile. God of War 2018 is a perfect example of that, because at the end of the game, you are fluid, like one fighter, boom, boom, left and right, combos, ones and twos on the big bad. And it's such a coming of age story for both Kratos and Atreus.
Yeah. And I mean, spoiler alert, I cried at the end of this one, so.
Oh, that is so sweet. Which moment? Oh, wait, is that a spoiler? We could talk about off air.
I can say, without spoiling it, literally like very, very, very end game. Like the final scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know if I have any others that I specifically want to talk about. Here's another stack. If you're watching on YouTube, you can pause it and have a look.
These are some games, I guess.
And then here's another stack. I mean, amongst those ones, you've got Astrobot, great, Spider-Man 2. I actually can't read backwards. Like a Dragon, the Yakuza newest series, Lego. Me and Lego games, ever since Lego started making games, I've been the #1 fan. I really want Lego Batman. I just think they're pure, unadulterated fun. They always have been. They've made so many. I don't understand how they get the licensing to do it all, but they've made so many. And then maybe final shout out, Persona 5. Classic.
Nice.
There we go.
Again, another one where it's like, if you know about it, they've got such a massive fan base, but if you don't know about it, they're kind of niche.
Yeah. And I didn't get into Persona until Persona 4. Was it 3? No, Persona 3 on the PlayStation Vita, which is a console that maybe some people didn't even know was a thing. because I was living in Korea at the time. Wow, I'm revealing more information about myself. I was living in Korea at the time, didn't have a games console, didn't know what to do, didn't really want to go to a gaming cafe as a foreigner, didn't feel like I'd fit in. And my brother very kindly sent me a PlayStation Vita he bought it in England from Japan, shipped it from Japan to Korea so that I could play some games on my TV in my little studio apartment. And it was fantastic. I had very Japanese games. I had Persona 3, I had Danganronpa, which is another game that I'm sure a lot of people have never heard of. And if they have, great. And then he also sent me a disc/SD card in the mail afterwards with a load of cracked games on. But you didn't hear about that PlayStation. I said nothing.
Physical games supremacy. If we don't own digital games, then piracy is not stealing.
There we go. See?
There have been great heroes in life, Martin Luther King. I Have a Dream. I think almost as impactful and important, almost.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't own digital games, then piracy isn't stealing.
There we go. Don't really know how to move on from that.
And on that note, I'm gonna thank Gabby for once again gracing us with her presence. It's always a fun time talking games with you. Please let the people know how they can follow you if you want them to.
I mean, it's the same spiel I always give. I am a gamer, but I'm a secret gamer. I don't have any public profiles that you can see me gaming on. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you're just going to have to go and watch another podcast and listen to my handle. Give Andy some more love on other episodes. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll be back here to ramble about other PlayStation games, or maybe we'll talk about something different. Who knows? But yeah, that's me. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, good. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to try my best for the next episode you're on for it not to be a PlayStation themed one.
I'm not complaining.
Because fair, I appreciate that. But Gabby dropped some new gaming lore. Used to gaming career. How fucking cool is that?
Little tidbits come out every episode.
Yeah, that was a really touching story about an actual console, not just a game.
Yeah,
a physical console. So it just goes to show that physical media supremacy is important and it must remain. But
fantastic.
These podcasts, I guess, are digital, but you can also enjoy them on YouTube. Always give us a thumbs up if you're watching, whether that's live or on demand. Leave some feedback, whether positive or constructive, in the comments or in the live chat, wherever you get your podcast. That includes the likes of Apple and Spotify. I have stuff to promote because I am gonna get ready to hit the gym, and then it will be my birthday, so don't worry. And then on Wednesday, I'm gonna be taking you through one of the games I didn't talk about earlier, but the successor to Budokai 2 is 3 hours of my favorite Dragon Ball Z game of all time, Budokai 3. Get ready as I go through all of the secrets and the tidbits I've learned over the years to 100% unlock every character and transformation and fusion. I won't do that in 3 hours, but I put it to a poll and you guys wanted this, so there you go. And the next podcast, the next episode of the Streamcast is going to be next Monday from 8 p.m. BST. That is not Mike Cope. That is your boy. But don't worry, you will hopefully see Mike Cope, director of Dynamic, in the flesh, who has been such a good partner to us. He has gifted us with gaming themed decks and a gaming jersey that we've been able to give away at one of our games nights that we do once a month, usually on the first Thursday. Why don't you come through? Because these guys who have built this empire of obtaining licenses of various gaming IPs will talk about Mike's favorite games growing up and what made him go into business for himself, forming a dynamic organization. There we go. I'm so good at this. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe. We'll see you on the next Streamcast.